Welcome to Keep Rolling, and today we're talking about metal versus plastic frames for aggressive skating. Now, let's just launch straight into it with the first area of comparison, which is rolling performance. So when you're just rolling around under normal conditions, you're not going to notice a night and day difference between metal or plastic frames. It's really only when you start to stress the frame, for example, when you're skating at high speed, pumping around a bowl, turning sharply, that you will start to notice a marginal difference in the performance between these two frames. The reason being is that a plastic frame, by the nature of the material, is just much more kind of flexible and bendy than a metal frame. So what you notice when you are kind of skating in a more high performance situation, for example, pumping around a concrete bowl, is that that metal frame remains much more stiff and rigid, resulting in much better power transfer and much better kind of control and fine tuning of movements as you are kind of adjusting your feet as you are moving, for example, over a transition. The plastic frame, on the other hand, is just going to be kind of flexible and kind of a bit more wallowy, and you're going to lose some of your speed in those kind of higher performance situations. So in this first area of rolling performance, I'm going to give the edge to the metal frame in this category. When it comes on to grinding, a plastic frame is really kind of your go anywhere option. You know, if you can grind it, a plastic frame will do it. You can take it to rough ledges, rails, coping, the streets, to a skate park, and it's always going to slide on pretty much any material. On the other hand, a metal frame, particularly with a metal H-block, is going to be a no-go when it comes to things like kind of crunchy street ledges. It's just not going to slide. You can definitely get away with it on like a smooth granite ledge as long as you put in a plastic H-block, but really your kind of good all-round tool is the plastic frame when it comes to the grinding. I'd say that there is kind of a difference when it comes to like the feel of the grind, and this has got nothing to do with the performance of the frame, but just to do with how it feels. So a metal frame with a metal H-block, you just feel this kind of friction underneath your feet, but not in a way that slows you down. There's just a kind of sort of satisfying, like crunchy feeling to the grind. It makes an awesome sound. In my opinion, it makes it much more fun, much more satisfying to grind, particularly when you've got that kind of like metal on metal feel. The other thing to bear in mind is with a metal frame, you've got a much thinner frame wall than on a plastic one, so that's going to give you marginally more sole space, particularly when it comes to things with a narrow sole kit, like if you're riding Salomons or them skates, for example, you are going to get a few more millimeters of sole. But I think overall, in terms of all-round performance, I have to give the edge to the plastic frame just for being the go-anywhere tool in the grinding category. When it comes to frame choice, you definitely get a lot more choices when it comes to plastic, as it's just much easier to shape into a variety of different molds. So you get much more choice between anti-rocker frames, plastic frames, high-low frames. There's just a lot more available on the market to choose from. Whereas metal frames kind of tend to pretty much exclusively be for flat setup. The shapes tend to be a little bit more straightforward, so you just get less choice. So basically, if you're riding a metal frame, you're pretty much going to be looking exclusively at a flat setup, whereas you get far more choice when it comes to plastic frames. If you are looking to pick up a new set of frames, I definitely recommend checking out Loco Skates. The Loco Skates are really a one-stop shop for anything you need for inline skating. I've been shopping there for must be 10 or 15 years. They've always got a great range, they've always got good customer service, and if you are looking for products for international shipping, they've got clever ways of managing things like import taxes that they'll handle for you at the checkout too. So definitely check out Loco Skates if you are looking to pick up some new gear. My final area of comparison is price and also value for money. So metal frames are exclusively more expensive than a plastic frame. The materials are just much pricier to get hold of. I imagine it's much more labor intensive to work with. And yeah, it's just always going to be more expensive to pick up a metal frame. But on the other hand, a metal frame is going to last you much longer than a plastic one. It's just going to have a lot more life in it just due to the nature of the materials. So although it's a more expensive initial outlay, you'll find in the long run you'll get much better value for money. And certainly something like these solar frames, I can't imagine I'm going to need to replace them anytime soon. I've had a good year's worth of wear out of them. I imagine they'll probably last as long as I want to carry on aggressive skating, just because the metal is so hard and it grinds away so slowly. So Although it's a more expensive initial outlay, you definitely get better long-term value for money with the metal frame. So I'm going to give the edge in this category to the metal frame for value for money. I think it really just depends on what's more important to you when it comes to choosing between a metal and a plastic frame. If you're looking to squeeze every ounce of performance out of your frame, you do a lot of bowl skating, you're exclusively going to ride flat, and you're not looking to get onto any crunchy street ledges, and you've got a bit more money for an initial kind of larger cash outlay for the frame, then I think that the metal is the way to go. If you're looking for a more diverse tool that will grind on anything, which gives you more choice in terms of the shape of the frame between anti-rocker and flat, and you're looking for something with a bit of a cheaper initial outlay, then I'd say go for plastic. So thanks for watching, give a like if you got some value from this video, subscribe to the channel for more blading content, and leave me a comment and let me know which type of frame you're riding and why. I'm Chris Chadwick and this is Keep Rolling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.